And then there is much more to their days in the National Academy of Civil Services. These are cultural extravaganzas, the programs, the cultural shows, and the festival. Perhaps the memorable experience is that of India Day celebrations. The Academy, besides having state-of-the-art classrooms, halls and conference rooms, it boasts of one of the finest libraries in the country. Labasna houses Gandhi Smriti Library, which caters to the reading, research and the reference needs of the officer trainees, also of the faculty members, staff and research associates. The library provides the best of the lending services, reference services, including documentation services, newspaper clippings, reprography services, literature, indexing and abstracting services as well. Well, this academy transforms OTs or officer trainees into responsible civil servants of tomorrow. And they have a job cut out for them, the integral role in nation building by forming and integrating the policies of tomorrow. And when we talk about this library of the academy, which is considered one of the best in the country, here the dictum goes that pick up a new book every month which challenges your mind. The most unique feature of the Gandhi Smriti Library is the Gandhiana collection. That's how the library got its name. As such, a collection of documents on and by Father of the Nation Mahatma Gandhi is being maintained separately, and at present there are more than 1200 publications in this collection. The present collection of the library now has approximately 1.65 lakh books and receives approximately 350 periodicals and journals along 38 national and regional newspapers. This library also possesses the Gyan Lok section consisting of rare books that are available for reference only. Hindi section consisting of approximately 30,000 books on different subjects and a separate state section consisting of about 27,000 books on the state. So isn't it the best of the library that the country has? Now we were almost 2 days old in the academy, and it was time to capture how these officer trainees unwind. And we wondered if the hectic schedules gave them that time and space.
7 p.m. in the evening, and we realized by now that academy is not only about discussions, workshops, lectures, rigorous seminars and all that, but when it comes to evening, the OTs are more than enthusiastic about working out and sweating it out, as you can see behind me, because they do believe in a fit mind and a fittest body. And why not? The academy also boasts of this state-of-the-art gym as well.
We'd earlier seen these officer trainees in action in group discussions, but hitting the gymnasium seemed to be a greater action they looked always forward to. The academy wants its future officers to be fit, and there definitely is infrastructure to take care of their fitness needs. From gymnasium, the stone throw away was another world. It was time for us now to explore the world of probationers, which goes beyond the academy, beyond library, beyond everything. This was their home away from home. We are talking about their hostels.
I'm here in the Ganga hostel, and it happens to be the last day of their theoretical aspect of phase 1 training. Now OT seems to be almost chilled out because from tomorrow they will kickstart their Bharat Darshan. Let's get into room number 116, and I've been told that it is not only the home away from home, but they're also having their part of the fun.
We also caught up with one of the probationers whose parents had visited her briefly, but their love had not been limited or confined to their daughter only, but for all the probationers in the academy. The parents of any UPSC aspirant has a very responsive role to play, and that's what we realized. Their support or lack of it makes a world of difference for any probationer as far as realizing the UPSC dream is concerned.
हर पेरेंट्स चाहते हैं कि उनका बच्चा आगे जाए। इससे भी आगे और बच्चे गए होंगे। आईएएस तो कोई माइल पत्थर तो है नहीं। जहाँ कैरियर है वहाँ हर चीज एक्सेप्ट कर रहे हैं। शी इज माई लाइट इंजन। आगे आगे ये चलेगी, अब हम पीछे चलेंगे।
ये जो इन्होंने अपना शुरू किया है सिविल सर्विसेज का, उसमें अच्छे से अच्छा काम करें और मतलब जैसे देश की सेवा करना है तो वो करें। ये हम लोगों का मतलब सपना है कि अच्छा से करें, वहाँ भी नाम करें जैसे यहाँ पे।
पेरेंट्स को हमेशा बच्चों के साथ रहना चाहिए और बहुत ही मुश्किल है सिविल सर्विसेज के एग्जाम, तो साथ साथ में उनको करेज करते रहना चाहिए। अगर बाय द वे कोई बच्चा रह भी जाता है तो उसको डिस्करेज नहीं करते, आगे के लिए तैयारी के लिए उसको तैयार करना ताकि बच्चा डिमोरलाइज फील न करे।
पेरेंट्स का बैकबोन बहुत जरूरी है।
बहुत जरूरी है, वो तो बैकबोन है बच्चे की। पेरेंट्स तो बच्चे की बैकबोन है, जैसे कि बच्चे की पढ़ाई बैकबोन है उसके करियर की।
And with emotions writ large on their faces, yes, they have all the blessings and the wishes not only for their daughter who has come a long way, but for all the professionals of the Labasna Academy.
यहाँ एकेडमी में जब हम आए तो हमने देखा कि काफी अच्छा यहाँ का वातावरण है, बच्चे अनुशासन में हैं पूर्ण रूप से, किसी तरीके से कोई बदी मजाक नहीं, सब अपने काम से काम रखते हुए समय पे अपना काम कर रहे हैं।
3 days of the shoot and now it was time to explore beyond the best that the academy had to offer. Beyond the best of faculty and infrastructure, beyond the best of the brainstorming sessions or those sessions which confronted bitter truths of our nation state, beyond initiating and conducting the thought-provoking discussions. Here, it was all about the ability to dare. They dared to speak their minds, and that's what they exactly did during this candid session with India Advantage team.
There are some popular perceptions. First, the bureaucratic system is prone to corruption. I would not use the word is corrupted, but it's prone to corruption and political interference. So when you go out for your postings and all of that, when you're really well in action, how are you really going to tackle that?
So I think we have to tackle this, the greatest menace in the bureaucracy right now. We have to deal with the corruption, because without bringing down the levels of corruption, we cannot progress.
Vulnerable to the political intervention, do you think, yes, there are instances when you have political influence in terms of decision making, in terms of anything, in terms of governance, politics plays its role?
Yes, in Constitution, the bureaucracy is supposed to work under the political executive. So obviously there is no point in arguing for an independent bureaucracy, because that is not what the Constitution of India has envisaged. But having said that, what we have to look at is a system wherein the political representatives doesn't work or hinder the work performance of bureaucracy, or the bureaucracy does not want to take the challenges of the political executive. So that is there. So to answer your question, what I would like to say is bureaucracy is very much susceptible to political pressures.
And how can we lessen that, the susceptibility that you talked about? It is there, but do you think we really need to narrow that? It needs a certain independence to function.
Definitely, it needs independence. We can lessen that. Now the RT Act is there, Right to Information Act is there. Now the public has access to that information that was hidden since years. So we cannot take any action that is totally arbitrary. We cannot. We have to justify. We have to justify our actions in the public, and we have to make sure that the political executive understand this thing. That tomorrow they have to answer to the public in terms of polls. After every 5 years, they have to answer the public.
This was one such group with dreams in their eyes and the vision and the agenda, the purpose of being a civil servant tomorrow. And then there were others too who proved that one doesn't really need eyes to dream. Their dreams are made up of greater stuff. Up next are the stories of inspiration and determination, and we will let you meet some of these special and extraordinary officer trainees of the Labasna. Why extraordinary? No physical challenge or limitation can be a hindrance ever, and for that, here we present their story.
2003 में मैं दिल्ली सबऑर्डिनेट सर्विसेज का एग्जामिनेशन क्लियर किया. आई वाज टॉपर देयर. वो सर्विस मुझे मिल गई थी, तो ये कह सकते हैं कि हाथ रखने की जगह मिल गई अच्छे से. तो उसके बाद जो है, उससे ऊपर दिल्ली में कोई सर्विस नहीं होती है जो दिल्ली गवर्नमेंट के एग्जाम से हो सकती हो. आइदर डानिक्स और IAS दोनों ही सिविल सर्विसेज से हो सकती है. जिस दिन हमने यूँ सोचा कि भैया हमको करना ही है ये। 2 दिन बाद ही डॉक्टर मनमोहन सिंह का रेडियो पे न्यूज आई कि एवरी ईयर 1 ब्लाइंड मैन विल बी गिवन IAS। तो उससे मुझे लगा कि ये पोस्ट मेरे ही लिए बनी है। हमने एक मिशन की तरह से उसको, एक NGO की तरह रन करने की तरह से उसको हमने पढ़ाई शुरू की। मेरे फादर ने जनरल स्टडीज को सेलेक्ट किया, उसमें से सिलेक्टिव आइटम्स लेते थे और उसको रिकॉर्ड करते थे ओनली थ्रू कैसेट रिकॉर्डर्स। बेल तो इनिशियल स्टेज पे बस जब एक बार सीख ली थी।
And then there were others who proved the mettle of their grit and determination. Nothing could stop them from dreaming. Nothing could stop them from realizing their dreams, even if the part of their body is polio inflicted.
चंद्रशेखर, आपको डायरेक्टर्स अवार्ड इन PT भी मिला है और आपने ट्रैकिंग भी की और जितनी भी रिगरस फिजिकल एक्टिविटीज होती थी यहाँ पे उनमें भी बखूबी पार्टिसिपेट किया, तो कहीं पे आपको किसी तरीके की दिक्कत नहीं आई?
PT में जनरली वो मेरा एरिया नहीं है क्योंकि मैं फिजिकली थोड़ा सा वो हूँ, लेकिन फिर भी मैंने पूरा डेडिकेशन दिखाया अपना और उस चीज को रिकॉग्नाइज किया गया मुझे लगता है। तो मेरा ये शुरू से रहा है कि जो भी मुझे करना है अच्छे से करना है, अदरवाइज नहीं करना है। तो ये फिर वो PT में मुझे डायरेक्टर्स अवार्ड और सिल्वर मेडल मिला था, तो आई एम वेरी हैप्पी।
आजमगढ़ डिस्ट्रिक्ट के एक छोटे से गांव घंजोर, उत्तर प्रदेश, वहां से लेकर IAS एकेडमी मसूरी तक का सफर आपका कैसा रहा? और आपके पास PhD है संस्कृत में, तो ये सपना आपने कब देखा था?
बचपन में ही। मैं 1 साल का था तभी जो पोलियो हो गया था मुझे राइट हैंड में। उसके बाद मेरे फादर जो थे वो 1.5 साल का मैं था तभी उनकी डेथ हो गई थी। तो बस मेरी फैमिली में मैं और मेरी मदर 2 लोग थे। और जब मैं वहाँ अपना प्राइमरी एजुकेशन या मिडिल या इंटरमीडिएट तक कॉलेज एजुकेशन कर रहा था, मैं सोच भी नहीं सकता था मैं यहाँ पहुँच सकता था। और मैं सुनता था कि IAS के बारे में, और उसके बाद DM साहब एक बार आए थे हम लोग स्कूल पर, वहाँ हमने देखा था। तो मुझे एक सपना था लेकिन सोच नहीं सकता था मैं पहुँच सकता था वहाँ।
आप दूरदर्शन के माध्यम से उन सब UPSC एस्पिरेंट्स को क्या मैसेज देना चाहेंगे?
कठिन तो है लेकिन इम्पॉसिबल नहीं है। अगर कमिटमेंट है और उनको पहुंचने की वो दृढ़ इच्छा शक्ति है तो वो जरूर पहुंच सकते हैं, रास्ते अपने आप बनते जाते हैं।
Tracing the outstanding success stories in the academy, we caught up with Shah Faisal, 2009-2010 UPSC topper, and we caught up with him in order to have a perspective on upcoming trends of UPSC examination intake and much more.
Do you see there is an increasing trend that more and more IT professionals, management professionals, even doctors and PhDs, doctorates, they're joining civil services, and why do you think it's happening?
I think yes, if you see the composition of my batch, you will see a lot of professionals who have deliberately foregone huge salary packages. Some IITians, IIM people, postgraduates in medicine, engineering graduates, I mean PhDs, everybody who had better opportunities, I think, in the market. But something, I think, the Sixth Pay Commission, the travails of the recession recently, which made the private jobs less lucrative and less attractive as well, I think these factors were mainly responsible for pulling more and more youth towards the civil service.
How does today's Gen Next perceive bureaucracy, especially the ones who are opting for it?
If you call talk of Generation Next, I'll tell you that the present youth, they do understand the kind of trade-off.
And having said that, what do you really see as major challenges for the young generation which has taken the baton from the veterans in civil services, the agenda lined up for you guys?
The first thing would be to deal with the perceptions that people have presently about the bureaucracy, the kind of perceptions that these are corrupt, they have got the, I call it the enterprise of corruption, that these bureaucrats have got I don't believe that. I think other institutions in this country, I think if you do an analysis, a dispassionate analysis, you will find that the corruption is as much prevalent elsewhere as well. But the issue is that this kind of, I often use this cliched word, the kind of a stereotype that is associated with the bureaucracy, that these are the people who have got a kind of a monopoly on this enterprise of corruption. And youth presently who are in the civil services, I think they have the first battle that they have to fight is to overcome and to fight this perception, and then only I think...
What is that one difference, the big difference that a young bureaucrat can really make, not only to the system, not only to the bureaucratic system, not only to the governance, but to the nation?
I think the best thing about these young bureaucrats, the young IAS officers presently, is that they are not ready to conform. Okay. We were recently discussing about the performance and the conformance. I think we young bureaucrats are not at all ready to conform the kind of dynamism and the innovative ideas that the young people are now bringing into the civil services. I think you have to reckon that. Definitely.